Maria here. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm excited to share with you the fragrances I would choose if I woke up one morning and someone had cleaned out my whole entire fragrance tray. And I had nothing left and was starting over, or if you are just starting, these are 5 fragrances that I think really help you have a rounded out collection, and they don't break the bank. So I thought to myself, okay, if I'm just starting out or starting over, I want to get a decent amount of fragrances that are quality, that are for a great price, and I think I have that for you. So I'm so excited. But before we get started, if you haven't subscribed, just go ahead and hit that button. Join the Weird and Wonderful family. I would love to have you part of the community. We talk mainly fragrance, but sometimes we talk about life, lifestyle, beauty, whatever, but mainly fragrance. So without further ado, let's get into this. So the categories I chose, which I think makes sense because you want something for kind of different occasions or different moods. I picked an everyday sophisticated, an evening or dramatic fragrance, a special occasion fragrance, a sexy fragrance, and a flirty fragrance. So yeah, let's start with my everyday pick. Again, I wanted to go more affordable, especially if you are just starting out in your collection. I wanted to give you something that was excellent quality, but also as affordable as possible, just so that you can have a nice collection without spending a fortune. So the first one is SOPHIA by SOPHIA VERGARA. Now this fragrance, it's a celebrity scent, but it's seriously so good. I know of very, very few people that don't like this. The longevity on this is 6 or more hours, and it's just a stunning fragrance. SOPHIA, in the opening, it has cassis, plum, and blackberry, and I definitely get that juicy kind of plummy blackberry goodness in this one. But this one has a beautiful orchid, rose, and violet, so it's just this beautiful floral. It's kind of delicate. You don't notice, like, it's not super rose heavy, although I would say rose would be the primary floral that I smell. But it smells sweet, and there's a floral component without being too heady, if that makes sense. And then with those plum and that juiciness from the fruit, it's a happy fragrance. It smells classy, and yet there's a playfulness to this one. I think this is a fragrance that works for all ages. The longevity is decent. You can wear this all year round. I tend to wear it in the spring and summer, but definitely it's a year-round version. And yeah, I've got a video on it. I'll put the card up here, but I'll also link it below. I did a whole video dedicated to this versus Coco Mademoiselle. Now, I don't think that they smell the same, but there's a same vibe to it. So it smells classy, and it would be something that you could wear to work, or pretty much anything. This is just a great year-round, all-occasion fragrance. I think it's fantastic. Longevity, scent profile, everything is phenomenal, and it's a great price. So the next fragrance was evening or dramatic fragrance, and I chose Alien by MUGLER. Now this is just the original Alien, nothing out of the ordinary. Most people have smelt it, but I just think this one's gorgeous. I think there's a soapy quality to this that I love. It's jasmine heavy, so if you don't like jasmine, you want to steer clear of this one, but I think it's sexy. I think it's dramatic. I like wearing this during the day as well, but it's just a little bit more like, this one's a little bit more sweet and innocent. This one's a little bit bad girl. It's got jasmine, amber, and I think woody notes. I get a lot of that jasmine. I get a soapiness to it, but there's also that sexy quality from the jasmine. This one gives me about 6 hours in longevity. I hear that the old school one had really amazing longevity. I get about 6 hours out of this one, but I really enjoy wearing this one. I think this was the most expensive kind of out of my picks here. But yeah, you can, well, if you get a little 30 mil, you can't go wrong. And yeah, nice, beautiful, sexy, dramatic fragrance. It's awesome. Now for a fancy occasion fragrance, I was thinking about going with Elisab Le Parfum Royale, or Royal, but I've talked about that one quite a lot lately, and one that's equally as amazing is First Kiss by Be Layered. Again, this one's really affordable. All the links for the fragrances will be below. This one's feminine. It's rose heavy for sure, but it also has lychee and rhubarb, so there's a tart kind of fruity component to this one. This one's quite sexy as well, so you could wear this in the evening too. It's very feminine, but to me it smells just a little bit more luxurious than a SOPHIA. Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. Now this is of course the inspired scent for Delina by Parfums de Marly. So if you want to splurge, that is seriously such a gorgeous fragrance. I would not want to be without some version of it in my collection because it's beautiful, it's sensual, it's classy, it's feminine, and it's just absolutely stunning. So First Kiss by Be Layered, or of course Parfums de Marly's Delina. Now the next fragrance category is kind of a fun, flirty fragrance, and so I chose Jean Paul Gaultier's So Scandal. Now this is raspberry. This one has raspberry, tuberose, and milk in it. I definitely get the juicy raspberry. It smells less like a fresh raspberry and more like a raspberry candy. Like my mouth is watering just talking about this one. It's just gorgeous. It has tuberose in it, so if you're not a fan of tuberose, you may not like this one, but the tuberose is just kind of like candy-like, like bubblegummy deliciousness paired with the raspberry. It's just so uplifting and fun. The longevity on this one is 4 to 5 hours, so not phenomenal, but it is such a fun, mood-boosting fragrance. Actually, when I think about it, all of these tend to be mood boosting for me, but raspberry, one of my favorite notes. It's just so happy and cheery. If I were a fruit, I would be a raspberry. Like I would be. I would be that red, juicy, bubbly, oddly shaped fruit. This one's gorgeous. Like, it's so nice. Now there's a milk component to this. I think this one smells, it gives it just a slight creaminess. So it doesn't smell like whipped cream or anything like that. It just kind of smooths it out. So if this was just raspberry and tuberose, it might not have the same smoothness if it didn't have that milky aspect to it. It stays light. Yeah, this one is just fun, and you gotta love the legs. This is just a really fun, awesome fragrance. Like, I really, really love it. Now, the last fragrance that I wanted to pick was a more opulent evening type fragrance. Now, lots of these like this you could wear in the evening, and this is kind of a sexy fragrance, but if you want to go to, let's say, the theater or something like that, a person could choose something like a Noir Pour Femme, although that's discontinued, but that's really pricey. So I thought a fantastic option actually is Elizabeth Arden's Fifth Avenue Royale. Now this cost me $14.99 in Canada, but usually, you know, I drop things all the time these days. Usually you find this one for like around the $20 mark. This one's just gorgeous. It has raspberry in it as well, and there is like a liquor note to it as well. So there's a little bit of booziness to this. I definitely get the raspberry. There's a leather or a suede in this one. I noticed that bit of leather. So it's kind of got like, there's a vanilla raspberry suede kind of combination with a little bit of booziness. Fifth Avenue Royale is a phenomenal fragrance. It's such a great price. It's underrated big time. And it just smells delectable. It smells to me in the same line as a Noir Pour Femme, so slightly dessert-like, but a little bit almost like a cheesecake. This would be like a raspberry vanilla cheesecake with some sort of rum syrup on it and some suede somewhere thrown in, sprinkled on top. It's just, I think, really, really beautiful. And like I said, so affordable. And for me, like with an evening type opulent fragrance, it's not like you wear that one a lot. Like I'm gonna spend more money on things like this that I wear during the day that can also take me into the evening, rather than on the sexy opulent fragrances, which I wear a little bit less. So I just think that this one is an awesome, awesome, awesome one to check out, and so, so affordable. And that is it. To me, that would be a phenomenal starter kit as far as fragrance is concerned. So let me know what your picks would be. If your fragrance collection completely disappeared, what would be the ones that you would recommend, or what would be the top three, let's say, fragrances that you would recommend to someone that's starting out on their fragrance journey? Let's talk about it. And other than that, I hope you have an amazing week, and we'll talk to you soon.